Here we
You blew it! You blew it!
This man was a bona fide scrub.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Oh, poor you.
I'm funny how? I'm funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?
stupid.
Welcome to another edition of the Participation Trophy Podcast. This is the 43rd time we're doing this shit. My boss used the term irregardless on a Zoom call this morning, and it's actually put me in a bad mood since turn off my camera out of spite. I just fucking loathe that fabricated ass word, man. And it's only used when people want to try to sound extra fancy and smart. Like, no, it's not a real word. It's a clear and unequivocal double negative.
It is said in The Sopranos. Carmen, what's the wife's name? Of course.
I don't care what Carmine or what Urban Dictionary told you. How often do any of you even check Urban Dictionary like on an annual basis? Like I would say I check Urban Dictionary like 7 times a year.
Hey, I'm about there. Maybe a little bit more.
Maybe 20 times a year. And
some random
see some
racist
song. Shit in there. Like I looked up my name once and I saw a lot of disturbing shit. And I was like, I'm good. I'm good for a little while.
I can't complain about my name definition. Mine was the sexy guy at the end of the bar.
That can't be right.
You see that guy at the end of the bar? He's a real Abdullah.
Yeah, my name was referenced a room full of black guys. They call it wall to wall Jamal, and I was like, "Fuck you, fuck all of you, fuck everybody."
I remember in its early days when it was a place where people went to find definitions of like crazy sex positions.
Yeah,
like Cincinnati bow tie.
Yeah, rusty trombone.
That's Mooj from 40-Year-Old Virgin. Anywhere, yeah, he was.
Yeah. I saw a little stand up. Yeah, he didn't catch on for some reason.
It's weird. But yeah. Anyways, man, I had to get that shitty made up word off my chest. Congrats, boss. You tried. You tried to sound smart. The program is about to be lit as usual. We got the same fools up in the house. My name is Abdullah Sharif, joined by Jamal Smith, Zain Zaidi, Neil Dalal. You know what else grinds my gears? As we start to feel the shift in weather a bit, we're coming up on that time of year, you know, where the days of summer are numbering, and we're right on. Regardless, yeah, and we're right on the cusp of autumn, right?
Days are numbering.
It's that. 4 days left of summer. Yeah, okay. No, what I'm trying to get to is it's around that time, like the in between summer and fall time, where the weather just doesn't know how to fuck to act, right? Like it's brisk as shit at 6 a.m., but by 2 p.m. you're back in a tank and shorts because the temperature just rose 35 degrees in a matter of hours. Oh,
I know. I'm the sole Maryland guy, but time of year where. It's that time of year where you have all 4 seasons in one day sometimes.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, no, listen, fall time. Otherwise, you know, when it actually kicks in, the leaves are all pretty and colorful. The grocery store's got like every product with a pumpkin flavor scent. My birthday's on October 1st. Yeah. Bro,
very polarizing cookie. We should have a whole discussion on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't. No, you like sugar cookies with your mom. You pop them shits off the cookie sheet too soon. They like fucking fold up and shit. Like does the same texture.
Oh man, so we're definitely big fans of that cozy time of the year. Speaking of cozy, Zane, you're already off to a hot start. The fall season enthusiast, you sound like you're ready to break out the Cosby sweaters and the corduroys, man. Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah.
It feels good.
It's that cold air, that brisk air is like unsaturated oxygen. Like it's just it goes down right. It feels great. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Rarely am I ever up that early. Like shit, if I have a 9 o'clock call, I'm waking up at 8:55 and rolling out of bed. But Monday I had to wake up early, go to work, 7 a.m. Usually I just drive with my windows down. Then I was like, damn, it's cold. I'm closing my windows.
No, yeah. That's another thing. Like I don't know what climate to keep my house because the AC's on. You forget to turn it off sometimes.
Well, this is the time of year you get a slight break on your utilities, right?
Mm-hmm. You do,
right? That kind of transition between the seasons. I'm one of very few black people that fucking hate summer. I cannot stand the fucking summer. I hate the heat. I don't know. I don't have that.
One of my favorite phrases is, you know how black people get when they get hot. You're not one of those black people.
Oh, I'm not with it, man. I like the stuff that summer brings, right? It's activities are fun. You get to congregate a little bit more. The summer holidays are pretty dope. Labor Day is the end of summer, but 4th of July is dope. All that stuff is cool. However, nothing compares to Zane's point, the change in the air, the holidays that come through. Yes. I mean, we got Thanksgiving, which is my favorite holiday. Exactly. You have Halloween, which people build their whole lives around Halloween. It's not a holiday, but it's a very festive time. And as an avid shopper and clothing and shoe enthusiast, there's nothing like fall fashion. Summer fashion is bullshit. Fucking shorts and fucking loafers and shit like that, and to get the t-shirt that you sweat and it gets like a dick stain like in the back of your shit, like the stain that looks like a cock and balls. I don't like it, man. You're walking out of the house, you get to your car, you sit down and you put the air on and you blow that like 500-degree blast of air in your face. I hate all that shit.
Yeah,
I crave like fall and winter because it's a relief, and you get the layer. You get the fall festivals outside. We go to Cox Farm every year for their fall festival, which is fucking.
I love Cox Farm.
The best shit in the world, right?
So great.
And who could forget? Obviously, the reason we're here is the culmination of like football season getting right off the ground, and then basketball boom, like kicking in. There. Like, who the fuck with that? You don't get that in the summer.
That's true.
You get a fucking Wednesday night baseball game between the Nats and the Mets. Who gives a fuck about that?
Oh man, listen. No, I express a lot of qualms about the beginning of fall season. I totally agree with both of you. I generally the time between October 1st, my birthday, and New Year's Eve, it's like a period of time where everybody just takes things a tad bit. My birthday, which you three fucks are gonna get an invite to soon.
My birthday's on Sunday, so
no, yeah. Wife is working on it. I'm not sure what date she's planning for, but
okay, cool.
The guest list is deep, and y'all part of it. But listen, that this period of time between beginning of October and New Year's, it's like a time where everything is just kind of taken a tad less serious, right? Even when you think about like work and stuff, like people are always in and out. You've got like you said, the Halloween parties, you got Thanksgiving dinners, you got Friendsgivings, events both at home and work. So and of course Christmas is a whole nother animal, right? Like it's like the big distraction from
sure.
normal day-to-day life. So I definitely enjoy that about fall. The pumpkin craze is definitely overdone, although I will say a few pumpkin specific delicacies that I enjoy. Pumpkin pie is unmatched, man. I love it.
Like
I live
a
by
good
it.
Pumpkin pie.
Ooh. I dare you to trash it. It's great. It's that pumpkin flavor.
I need a good amount of crust with it, though.
I gotta give sweet potato.
Say it with your chest, man.
I got to give sweet potato more chances than I have. I haven't given it as many chances as I've given mushrooms, and I fucking hate mushrooms. So I will
Ooh.
never live. But sweet. No, I haven't. I
Like
haven't.
candy yams.
You gotta get this shit done right. The
Yeah,
marshmallows,
okay.
the
That
slight,
sounds
the
good.
slight char on top.
Okay. Oh,
All right,
I
so
love
Jamal, I need to
charcoal.
come to your house for
Undefeated.
Thanksgiving.
Undefeated.
I love.
Undefeated.
Okay, and that you said,
Mhm.
and that's a good point. I was going to ask: does it give you that sweet and savory mixture taste, or is it more? Okay, it does. Yeah, yeah.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were saying that your sister makes a good one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whew.
We've done a 360 because we're getting into now like nuances on dishes and do we approve or we don't approve. Like,
Yeah.
you know, pecans and, you know, sweet potato casserole sounds good. I mean, it fits with the flavor profile. Just don't put no shit like blueberries in it, right?
Oh, what is that? Raisins in the potato salad?
Shit like that. Yeah, yeah. Like, don't get out of control. Respect the fall dishes. Don't break them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Because a lot of motherfuckers need to get called out. It's about that time of year. Also, fall is good for like plates getting up on profiles, like on Instagram, like Facebook. Check out this plate, like I made this, and it'd be like some bullshit. And like I thought I knew that person.
There we go.
Oh, nothing really looks good. You mean like potluck, like potluck stuff brought in? Oh,
just
they
like
eat for lunch.
leftovers.
I agree. I agree with that. I mean, like a lot of stuff doesn't look good the second day when you pull it out that office fridge. But yeah, I judge people by what they pull out to reheat. Yeah, yeah. It's like, why is that cabbage slightly blue? Like, what's wrong with you?
So for me, in trying to hold on
good.
to, college life, beginning of college, new year, whatever, is always kind of the mark of like, okay, fall weather. And so shit, everybody just be wearing yoga pants and leggings. One of my friends freshman year is like, best time of the year. I was like, damn, this guy funny, but true.
Yeah. Except
y'all
those
fuck
fucked up Ugg boots. The Ugg boots is also
Yeah,
the time of year. Sadly, we see
unnecessary
8-year-old Ugg boots that are leaning inside.
What about the 4:30 p.m. sunsets and shit? Y'all fuck with it getting dark at 5 p.m.?
No.
I was gonna get into it.
The darkness of winter is definitely a big con, but
Listen, yeah, I mean, the clocks turn back in November. No,
we're transitioning.
I do love Ramadan in the fall. I'll tell you that. All right, man.
I will say, like seasonal, the daylight saving sucks real bad for like the first week and a half or so.
Yeah,
it fucks you up.
But honestly, man, now that I'm not going into the office, like that shit really hits the worst when you're like leaving work. Remember the first commute, you're leaving work, and it's like it's like
dark as fuck. Yeah,
it's like dark before you get through the second light just from your office, and you just your soul leaves your body. But it's not that bad to me anymore. Oh, yeah, it's a wrap. Yeah.
No, but sometimes when you're in the office, if you're in the office past 4:30, 4:45, and it starts to get dark, that's when it kind of really feels shitty. You're just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Why am I here? Like,
because you probably came in before the sun was already up anyway. You know what I mean?
And that was like the worst part of high school schedule too. You would wake up, leave your house at 6 o'clock, pitch dark. If you had after school activities, coming home at 4 or 5 o'clock, pitch dark. You just don't see the sun. It's so depressing.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, exactly. Every time.
Yeah.
Every time, man. Yeah. Yeah. Bro. No, bro, I want you
Rinse
to
and
smoke
repeat.
weed. Like I want you to start smoking weed because that's when you start having all like the shitty ideas that sound great, that seem great. Like when you're high, like yeah, man, like yo, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start this movement tomorrow. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna change my whole life up tomorrow, man. Like planning ahead. Planning ahead when you're high sounds it's amazing in the moment, and then the next day
Then you
just
realize
like,
you have no
the fuck
capital
was
to
I
get off the
thinking? Like I
ground.
ain't doing none of that shit, man. I'm a still log on and keep moving my cursor every 15 minutes for the first like 45 minutes of my day, right? Not doing shit. It's just like I did yesterday, just like I did the day before, and last week, and the week before that. Yeah. Did it go up yet? Yeah.
Man.
Oh man. All right, well that was fun. We got some more fall activities to discuss in the open gym and a few trophies to give out too. But real quick before we head into that, a huge fuck you to cancer. Fuck cancer as a staff, record label,
Retweet.
and as a motherfucking crew.
Yep.
The dreaded disease took our beloved Norm MacDonald on Tuesday at age 61. Man, it's out of left field again, right? Like, and hearing about it, knowing that he had cancer, remarkable that he was battling it for 9 years and no one knew.
No one knew.
He kept that shit real tight. And it's probably like the most Norm MacDonald thing ever, right? Like having cancer for 9 years, no one knows about it, and then he just passes on. The heralded deadpan comedian, obviously known for his awkward style of dry wit humor, most famous for his role as the Weekend Update host on SNL in the 90s, right? That shit was unmatched.
Yeah.
No one could fill those shoes. Just another one of those guys that kind of did everything: stand-up, script comedy, a few shows of his own, including a sports show, cameos galore. Just had a unique comedic voice that had everybody in tears, you know, just 3-4 minutes into listening to him. Zane, you know I was going to turn to you on this real quick. Give us some reflection on the late great Norman MacDonald. Love it. Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah. But yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Even the suicides. You know, some of these guys. You know, like Anthony Bourdain, like Robin Williams. So maybe Robin Williams kind of saw it, maybe coming, but those were also deaths that no one kind of just saw coming, just kind of out of left field. But I think what was respected about Norm so much was that he kind of leaned into that awkwardness. Like I've used the term before, leaning into the bomb. It's kind of something I learned from Patton Oswalt, like where you feed into the awkward air by telling either a bad joke or, you know, like kind of a controversial joke, and he did both. He would say things that kind of, he had that Charles Woodson joke
the
at the
ESPYs.
ESPYs was hilarious. You know, he kind of alluded to O.J. Simpson there and said no one saw it coming. Kind of to your point, Zane, like he kind of just starts a joke and no one knows where it's going until yeah. But he would sit there and look at you in the camera and smirk and dare you to laugh, and you would fucking laugh.
Speaking of OJ, he did so many OJ bits on Weekend Update. And by the way, nobody will top normal Weekend Update on SNL.
Never,
like he is he's the GOAT. They should actually like kind of put a pause on it this week, just to, you know, in memory of him. But he did so many OJ, you know, killed his wife jokes. They actually like kind of pulled him off the desk. Like he just kept pounding that shit. And there's like a good compilation on that. You'll probably find it on Twitter sometime. Like they just kept getting worse and worse. But yeah, he was masterful at making light of like kind of the darker subjects. So I think the last big Netflix stand-up special he did, he talked a lot about suicide and how life is just meaningless. And again, it was just his own flavor to it, which made it that much more comedic. The thing about Norm that I think a lot of guys glean from is his comedic timing was fucking amazing. The way he dragged you to a punchline and just kind of hang you out there, that shit was so fucking good, man. Like he was just amazing. And last thing, if you haven't watched it already, I always tell people all the time, search on YouTube the Norm MacDonald moth joke. I think he told it on Conan, if I'm not mistaken.
his chauffeur told him the joke.
Classic material. I think it's like 8 minutes long, and it's just it leads up to one punchline.
That's
it.
Good.
And that's Norm, man. So I'm gonna miss him, man. A lot of comedians on Twitter today giving outpour. I think Seth Rogen said I totally stole a lot of shit from Norm just when I was getting started in the industry, and that's just an homage to how good he was.
Yeah, definitely. Rest in peace, Norm. He had a unique Twitter feed too, especially during the football season. He tweets shit out like Packers 3rd and 1 at the 25. That was it. He was short on the goal line. That was it. It was hilarious. We're certainly gonna miss the man. I know. Speaking of his sports Twitter feed, I know football fans who root for the local professional team could use some comic relief already in the season. We're gonna get an open gym, man. Yeah, speaking of those fall favorites we were talking about, on the top of our list, of course, is Football Americano. The NFL 2021 season debuted on Sunday, and let me tell you something, man. Nothing feels righter.
Yeah.
Thursday. Nothing feels righter. Nothing feels more righter than your team starting the season 1-0. All right. The rest of the week becomes so peaceful, right? Everything just kind of gets put on the back burner. Oh wait, y'all can't relate.
Fuck are you?
Your squad's muffed opening week. I'm my bad. My bad.
It's okay. None of us are going to the playoffs at this rate.
Luckily this is the time to air it all out, gents. My little WFT fans over there and the little Giants over there. Let's get this thing cracking, man. Let's start with the team formerly known as the R words. We hyped it up last week, or maybe I just did. I know Zane didn't. But some of the things we were hopeful for, right? Washington playmakers, we're going to catch some balls from Fitz, Chase Young getting the best of Justin Herbert, Washington defense proving their greatness. None of that happened. Fitz got exploded on a hit and is on IR now. Heineke is the guy going forward, according to the team. Chase and the Washington defense just not getting any pressure on the quarterback. We'll get into these discussions. But not without presenting the first Washington participation trophy. The honors being carried out by one football team fan, Neil Dalal. We're going to start off with, what's his name?
Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's so short-lived. All of us got to be at this point just, why can't we have nice things? You would think, okay, a competent quarterback can throw the ball more than 20 yards down the field, can run Scott Turner's system. Let's go. Like, we can do some damage this time. The downside is that, I think their offensive line is taking a big step back in, the last couple of years. They don't have a Trent Williams anymore, manning that. Right. So now their new left tackle gets blown up on this one play, and Fitzpatrick is just, smashed to the ground, lands on his right hip, out 6 to 8 weeks. Like, this is, what was it? Even before halftime this happened? It was
right before halftime.
It's just immediately you're just like, damn, like, what does this mean for the game, for the season? What? And, obviously it's Heineke time, and, he did magical things, in the playoffs last year, but at some point you think that, NFL defenses are going to figure him out, but it's just brutal. Every time you think that FedEx Field is cursed, man, with quarterback injuries, like, this wasn't as bad as RG3 or Alex Smith, but it's like, damn.
Who laid the hit on him? Do you remember who actually laid the hit on him?
I couldn't even tell you, but it wasn't Bosa.
Yeah. But even Fitz in that first half, like leading up to his injury, very conservative throwing the ball. Like,
sure,
there weren't. I don't think he might have thrown the ball once downfield, and it was like an overthrow, but it was kind of a lot of the same stuff we saw last year too. Just a lot of the short routes, the short patterns. A lot of Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin didn't even have a catch. I'm not sure how many targets he got, but I don't know. For a lot of Washington fans, it ended up becoming what they wanted it to become. I think amongst the fans and followers of the team, there was a quarterback controversy. Like there was still kind of the jury was still out on whether or not they wanted Fitz or if they wanted to give the keys to Heineke based on his performance last year. That kind of just cleared it all up now. So
yeah, like
now
Heineke is definitely
at least Ron Rivera has somebody he knows is going to be the guy going forward.
Heineke was definitely a fan favorite, and sure, some of that is, okay, yeah, it's cleared up, but to me, it's still your overall ceiling as a franchise is a lot lower without that veteran kind of player like Fitzpatrick. But who knows? We'll see. Got Thursday night football against the Giants.
So how do you like Heineke going forward? I mean, do you feel like he's a guy that can consistently get the ball to some of these playmakers, especially down the field?
No, I think they're going to be a losing record team this season now with Fitzpatrick going down and being gone for more than half the season. I think Heineke is definitely, serviceable, number two. They're not going to be absolute garbage like some other teams would be if their starting quarterback went down. But,
I just don't know if there's go ahead.
Are you taking away Washington as the division favorite now?
Oh, absolutely. I think
I don't know.
Dallas is
Honestly,
away.
I don't know. Do you think that there's that big of a discrepancy between like
I think so, but
Heineke's win shares and Fitzpatrick's? I just as an experienced
I don't know either because
fan,
I don't know enough about Heineke. I don't think there's enough of a enough film.
But I also don't think Fitzpatrick is like a gung ho like lights out.
Sure.
No, he wasn't that, but
11 games guaranteed, right? I just feel like both.
I guess the model for Washington was to have somebody essentially be a game manager, get the ball down the foot every now and then, but just don't make mistakes and let the defense kind of anchor them. Heineke seems to be. I mean, and again, I don't have a whole lot of snapshot on him, but he seems to be more of a risk taker. He can kind of make plays with his legs a little bit, right?
Definitely more mobile.
Right. Yeah. So
definitely more mobile. Yeah, that's for sure. Even though Fitz can use his legs when need be, but Heineke is more prone to getting out of the pocket, running out, and actually can I think he can throw the ball well on the run.
He's 10 plus years younger. Let's hope that he's more mobile than Ron Fitzpatrick.
Sure. Good point. Touche. All right. The next participation trophy, I got the drum roll for this one. The FedEx Field infrastructure. There's some conflicting reports on what caused the
Abdullah just chooses not to want to believe
what caused a handful of fans getting cocky by
oh, gross.
What looked like a pipe burst at first. It's sewage. One of the fans were overheard. But now the claim is that it was rainwater. What, like from a gutter? Like what?
That's like the video, like the older white guy, like the camera's paying. He's like, whoa!
I screenshot that shit. I had to tweet that screenshot. Oh, I'm surprised you didn't create a meme out of that. Like,
it's a shitstorm in the fans in the field and in the stands.
Definitely good meme-worthy content there.
That was. Yeah, but it's so funny.
You tell her you took over as a starter.
But it's so funny how when shit like this happens, like off the field shit especially, like the fans just pounce on Snyder, right? Like, this is the culmination of 25 years of Snyder. Like,
it's like conservatives on Biden or like Obama too. Like
like that's it. They're waiting for anything like outside of the box to happen for them to just rail on that guy. I mean, deservedly so. So, lastly, Zane, this is your time to shine, man. I'm one of the guys that hyped this unit a lot, and I have been for a few years. I mean, even prematurely. And I remember you kind of shitting on me about it, Zane. Like, wait a second. But this is going back to like Jonathan Allen's like rookie year. Like, oh shit. Like, oh, Ionitis, yes. The Washington D-line getting the third and final participation trophy for this week. Just nothing. giving us nothing. Mhm. There's something in the sewage.
Sewage. Third and 16, the Joe Barry special.
Yeah.
Oof. Wow.
Wow. Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
Damn,
right.
Vane. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, well, I
This
mean,
is
I mean,
so good.
he told us more than that. I mean, look, we're talking about two different parts here, right? You're talking about the fans that are overhyping, which what you think is like essentially average shit, and then you've got the team just underperforming, right? And so with the team underperforming, like the things that you say, like the mental mistakes, right? Just missing tackles. Um, I don't know what it is about the demeanor of the defense in general, where they're just not applying pressure or just kind of being more aggressive. I mean, I watched the game I think twice, and you just look at the defense, and it's like there's absolutely no assertiveness coming. It starts at the D line, right? Every time you talk about defense, it starts at the D line. How much pressure can you put on the line, on the quarterback, right? Yeah, I think I no, no, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Empty stats. Yeah. 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 Right. As far as the fans are concerned, though, I think it's part of a general DC sports narrative here, where things just get over sensationalized just because we have nothing else to do. We have
Culture.
nothing
It's a
else to
culture.
follow.
A culture of
It's a
losing. Culture of
it's
losing.
a culture of losing, and so and I've seen it with Wizards fans, and we see it with the football team fans, where as soon as a guy hits the market, a free agent, regardless of who it is, and the most recent example is obviously Cam Newton, right? I mean, it's like the tweet hasn't even like been fully sent by Adam Schefter, and like Washington fans are like, "Get on the phone, Ron, get on the phone, Ron," right?
Stephen A.
Make
Smith.
this happen. And it's
Stephen
like, wait
A.
a
Smith
second,
went in on that
yeah,
whole thing. He
but
was
like I'm
essentially
saying, yeah, but like I'm saying, like fans will start to draw like these fantasies from even like potential acquisitions and and signings without it even happening, and they'll just go in a whole fucking spiel, a whole day's worth of tweets and posts about what could be if this happens, and then to your point, like with the defense now, the guys that they have on paper now, and I'm also guilty of this. I hyped them up. I think potentially the Washington defense can be elite, and I think they played at an elite level in certain games. And I felt like week one was a week. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fine. You're right. They haven't obviously done this against better team, right? But I felt yeah. But now I understand because like I was talking about last week, like this is a big week. Like we could start week one, a litmus test for the defense, right? You're playing against the offensive rookie of the year, a guy against the guy that nationally fans were torn on. Okay, should the Washington team had drafted Justin Herbert over Chase Young? Obviously, everyone knows at the time Justin Herbert wasn't even remotely a top 5 prospect, right? But he shocked everyone last year, even Burrow fans and Tua fans alike, right? Like, oh shit, Herbert just came out of nowhere and started balling out. And then of course the stupid fans are gonna bring up the fact, well, did Washington make a mistake? Did we draft the wrong guy? All those narratives considered going into week one, we were like, all right, well, this is the time where the Washington defense specifically needs to kind of show out and kind of just put all that shit to rest. And they did none of it. And so I get where you're coming from, and I understand. I think the team is kind of piped up a little bit more than they should be, and they still have a lot to work with. I mean, I don't know what they need to change. What's going to make them tackle better, other than tackling better, right? Yeah, but I've also I heard a lot of grief given to the defensive game plan, that there was a lot of zone coverage that kind of left a lot of windows open for Justin
it
Herbert.
just seems like they never
There
blitzed
was,
either.
but here's the thing: they were beating them man to man as well. It's not like they were they were playing much better. Like Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, these guys were still fucking getting balls with defenders in their face. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's hard to answer those questions. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. The Giants game on a Thursday night couldn't have come at a better time, because now Washington fans are like, oh, we're gonna take it out on the Giants. We're gonna make all these adjustments against the Giants, and then it's the fucking Giants, right? They're probably gonna beat the Giants, right? And then right, right, and right. Yeah. Who they beat? Yeah. Right.
No, you're way past sounding like a dick. It's okay. Keep going.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right. 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 Oof. Spicy Zane.
Very much so. Wow.
God damn.
Gotta put
Ghost
the devil
pepper.
ears on you this week, man. Shit. Yeah. No. Points taken. Points felt. Uh,
I don't know, but that Cowboys just want to talk about everything they did 40 years ago.
That's true too. Yeah. All right. Let's.
Don't ask.
All right, man. Hey. Let's move away. Let's move away. We're gonna put the clamps on that. Let's go to some other week one trophies here. We got some good ones this week. Week one was lit. We'll start with Trevor Lawrence. Welcome to the big leagues, dog. First ever regular season loss.
Welcome to hell that is Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville, man. Hey, listen, this motherfucker threw 51 times in his debut, had 332 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Bro, I don't know if you guys watched this game or at least just Trevor himself. He threw a ton of bad balls, lots of overthrows, lots of underthrows. Granted, his supporting cast is a little weak, not really
DJ
a
Chark.
solidified running back. They got DJ Chark. I mean, the
Marvin
average guys, right?
Jones.
Yeah, Chenault. Chark is good. They got Carlos Hyde,
James
James
Robinson.
Robinson. So not a strong cast. I like Trevor. I like his mechanics. I think he's got agility. He's got arm strength. For me, it's about his IQ at this point, right? Just making better throws, making better decisions. He threw some fucking shitty throws. I mean,
I didn't see the game. The
Yeah.
common thing you always hear with guys, not even just in football, but especially NFL, making a leap from college to the pros is the speed of the game. Does it seem like I don't know how much he played in preseason or what the deal was, but
he looks comfortable. I'm not saying he doesn't look comfortable. I think
Okay.
he's the O-line was pretty good. He wasn't scrambling a lot. He seemed poised, in the pocket, his dropbacks.
Okay.
He didn't rush throws. He just mistimed them, threw them, through just not accurate, misfiring. 2 of his 3 interceptions were just bullshit, like just straight up bad throws.
Okay. See, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say I would
like
kind of rather, under and overthrows than not knowing how to than rushing in the pocket and just
exactly
forcing shit. Because I can speak about that. It
reminds me of Josh Allen. Josh Allen, his rookie year, maybe
Mhm.
some of his second year, and I miss the old Josh Allen as a Dolphins fan because you could count on him just fucking up a throw, unforced. There was a game-winning touchdown pass that he underthrew Charles Clay in the end zone by like 8 yards, wide open.
Wow.
And it was a throw where like Clay had to like dive back forwards, out of the end zone to try to get the ball and then try to get back. Like it was bad. But you see how Allen's evolved out, right? He's become more smarter as a passer with his reads.
More smarter.
More smarter, irregardless.
Numbering.
Irregardless of the pressure, like he's yeah. Right. Yeah.
Accelerate the development.
Yeah. It's different. Yeah.
Right. Unless
Yeah.
you're playing Alabama.
That's true. That's true. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. True.
Still salty.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, like
yeah.
it's the first week. Like they know that he is the quarterback moving forward. Might as well let him do anything and everything he wants. Let him learn from his mistakes. Let him
Yeah,
get
pretty much.
extra reps. Like
Right.
accelerate the development is essentially what they're doing. They don't care about this season, but if he gets, a season and a half of reps in and real like NFL passes in, that's going to help him next year.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Let's keep going. Next up, Kirk Cousins.
Bring him back.
Another
Bring
mon-
him back.
Another monster stat game in a loss. The dude completed 36 of 49 passes for 351 yards and 2 touchdowns. Zane, I'm gonna lob this up to you real quick. I've agreed with you on Kirk Cousins being a good quarterback for a while, but I'm starting to kind of drift off of that a little bit watching this game. I'll let you speak. To me, it seems like just empty stats a lot of the times, right?
Mhm.
He's not an enforcer. He doesn't a lot of not even the garbage time stats. He gets bailed out by his playmakers a lot. In Minnesota specifically.
You can say garbage stats also because they're always playing from behind.
Right.
I just don't feel like he moves the ball in general. Like it's a lot of yaks, right? You got and especially in Minnesota, you got as a person, as a grill master. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Right.
Mm.
What was it? He had the was he 0 for on like Monday night, Sunday night football or something, or was he 0 for against like winning teams with winning records or?
Mm.
Hmm. You would have wanted to give him whatever $76+ million if he wanted to stay here. Yeah, it's always you can go back and say what if, but it's like what if just we never traded up for RG3, but Kirk Cousins was our quarterback of the future. We'll talk
We
about
are.
him later.
We are.
Bobby
We
Three
talking about-
Sticks.
He's coming up later. Oh, we all did. It was a glorious year.
1 year, 4 months.
Yeah. No.
That New Orleans Saints debut.
Oh man, I don't know how we gonna get through this NFL segment with that. Like I said, he just doesn't come off as an enforcer, as a guy who takes chances down the field. This whole 36 completions for 351 yards. And then all the Washington football team fans, when they lost, because it was a loss, they lost the ball off of a Dalvin Cook fumble in overtime, and they're all just kind of like, "Oh, see, not Kirk's fault." Whatever. All right, we're going. That's what I can say. All right.
Hopefully, it gets.
Yeah. All right.
Well, hopefully, it gets vaccinated.
He's a weird fucker too, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
that stuff
sure.
really was prominent over the summer. I mean, driving a conversion van, like just real quirky shit. Like, like okay, all right, guy. Right.
Kirk Cousins got to wear flip flops in like 30-degree weather, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Without a doubt.
He did. He went to Michigan State, right? He's used to that cold weather.
Toes just maroon.
Yeah. Real Bob Evans energy.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Next up, the Tennessee Titans offensive line.
Oh boy, I was
Chandler
way
Jones.
off on this one.
Yeah, Chandler Jones 5 sacks. Taylor Lewin, their highly what do you call it? Highly esteemed offensive lineman, was responsible for 2 of them. Yeah, coveted all that shit. We talked about it last week, Jamal. Wannabe Super Bowl contenders. Opening week at home, they get destroyed.
Fucking
at
laid
home.
an egg, man.
But listen, the silver lining in any Titans loss though is Clay Travis's hurt feelings.
Good. I'm on board with that. I like that.
Yeah, I think about him every time the Titans.
That works great for me. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Mr.
I can root against the Titans now.
But yeah, are the Titans who we thought they were, or was it just a dud of a game?
Well, we talked last week about the NFC West is going to be fucking loaded, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we saw a lot of taste of that in week 1. Let's give the Cardinals their props.
We will. Yes.
I don't want to say that Tennessee was bad. Let's just say, the Cardinals are really fucking good, right?
Really good.
And
Kyler Murray is going to be a problem.
Right. When Kyler Murray gets scrambling, he looks like a little fucking roach, just like going around. Like, remember getting Bo Jackson and Tecmo just running across because you couldn't stop him?
And he got the oversized ass helmet too, so he looks like Marvin the Martian too, like when he's running like.
You've seen the thing where they shrink him down, his helmets are still massive.
Yeah, they look good, man. They look good. So I give it to them. I still say, Tennessee has a shot. I don't know. They bottled up Derrick Henry too. 17 carries for 58 yards. It's pretty.
Yeah, it was like nothing.
That's right.
I think at one point in time he had 9 carries for 8 yards, and one of those rushes was a 7-yard rush. So he literally had
I think that was like right around halftime because Twitter was blowing up. It's also fantasy overreaction time too.
Of
so
course.
People were mad as fuck.
I
but
spent my third overall pick on him, and he has 4 points.
Hey, Jamal, that reminds me. My brother-in-law works for AWS, and they do these next-gen advanced stats.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those stat categories are wild. Like they had one about for running backs and the percentage of how many defenses crowd 8 in the box when they line up in the backfield.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And Henry, ironically, wasn't top on that list. I think it's because he's a lot faster around the edge than other running backs might be.
So
and Kamara had a low percentage. Who was number 1? Shit, I forgot who number 1 was. I should have been prepared to share this since I'm bringing it up. But yeah, just speaking of Henry, the defense was able to contain him, and they were able to lock up the receivers as well. I mean, Julio Jones only had 3 catches for 29 yards.
I didn't expect much from Julio, but yeah.
But AJ Brown, I think he's the best receiver on the team still. But
he is.
He had a touchdown catch and a couple good throws. But yeah, the Arizona defense. What's that? The last 2 years? Okay. I think this just was the stat for this first game.
This past week. Yeah. You know, they play a good game, man. So I think Tennessee, obviously, it's week one. They have time, but yeah, props to Arizona, man.
Yeah, man. They
looked
made
incredible.
Tannehill feel like he was with the Dolphins again when he had that NFL record high 58 sacks in one season.
Bro, one of those blindside sacks looked fucking brutal.
Oh,
man.
it was bad. Yeah,
Blew his whole shit up. Yeah.
I mean, they had 6 total sacks, 5 of them from Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah, just J. Yeah, right. Are the Cards contenders?
Contenders for what?
I guess contenders for. I mean, you got because you look at their offense. You got Murray. You got.
I think.
I try hard not to call Christian Kirk Charlie Kirk, but the guy Christian Kirk.
The fucking tiny face on the big head.
Oh my god! But
I think as long as health is going to be their thing, I'm looking particularly at their. They have some depth in the run game. Chase Edmonds did
James
pretty
Conner.
well. Yeah. Edmonds, and they spelled Edmonds pretty late. They brought Connor, and he got some good reps. I think it'll be the health of their game. I think Hopkins will be fine. I think Murray will be fine for the most part. He still scares me when he gets out of the pocket and runs a little bit. So I hope he doesn't, catch some fluke shit. But I would say until proven otherwise, yeah, they should be discussed as contenders for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Right.
Yeah. He flung a lot of shit up into it. I mean, yeah. Oh yeah. No, good point.
Yeah.
It's a high ceiling.
Let's keep it going. The Cleveland Browns. I want to say they blew a big lead, but 12 points is considered a big lead against any other team but the Chiefs, right? Yeah, right. The opening drive was really good. They came out the gates, just Nick Chubb was just all over the field. But the Chiefs, like I said, playing them is like emotional fuckery. Like you get off to a hot start against them, you go up 10-0, 13-0. In some teams' cases, 24-0 if you're the Texans in the playoffs. And you feel the thing is, I call it an emotional fuckery, is because when they're actually doing well against the Chiefs and they have those little small leads, you feel like your team is the best in the world. Like it feels good. Like Mahomes is kind of shaking up a little bit, and you're getting some good plays on their defense. You feel unstoppable, and then the confidence in your team just kind of hits the ground, hits the floor when the Chiefs turn it on, and they run 24 points on you in 2 quarters. The reality check is probably one of the worst reality checks you'll feel. And and so Neil, for the Browns, are they another one of those contenders / pretenders? Do you believe in Baker?
Yeah, so I think the Browns, they got humbled just the same way that the Chiefs do to many other teams. They got it big, they were able to play their game and do some good things. They didn't have Odell, as he comes back from his injuries. I think, the Browns are going to be okay. Losing to the Chiefs, that's nothing to feel bad about. Every single team is losing Mahomes left and right these days. But, in a weekend, potentially, AFC North, Ravens are dealing with a bunch of injuries. How much do you really believe in 45-year-old or however old Big Ben Roethlisberger is in Pittsburgh? He's old, like he can barely move. I don't really believe in them. So I think it's still bright for the Browns. It's decent litmus test to say, yeah, okay, we hung around with the Chiefs, the team that represented the AFC in the Super Bowl in back-to-back years. So I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think so too.
Thank you for your testimony.
Aaron Rodgers, this is a big one.
Oof,
got blasted. Man, this dude, I mean, he threw 2 picks, no touchdowns. Did he even have 200 yards in this game?
I'm pretty sure
138. Yeah. It was something really low.
133 2 picks, sack once.
Yo, you you brought up something funny this week, saying, hinting at the fact that was he sabotaging the Packers?
A whopping 1.32 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know where to put my finger on it. They didn't run the ball well either. Just like Henry. I mean, Aaron Jones got bottled up a bit. But Rodgers just didn't seem. I mean, he was overthrowing balls. One of his picks were really under pressure. I think it kind of altered his throw a bit.
The second one, he had just tossed it out there, and it was
yeah.
easy.
The second one, yeah, he just very reckless. Yeah. So, what are we thinking here with Aaron? Is what's he said it's one game. We still have 16 more
right.
to go.
Whereas LaFleur said, "Oh, it's embarrassing."
Or is this setting the tone for something? Yeah.
All right, get ready, everybody.
Mm. Yeah. Was this that overtime game? Yeah, that was a great game. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Right. 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 Eh, Right. And it's right. Right. No. Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's some humbling
That's
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
humbling shit.
That you just like described Dan Marino's entire career right now. But yeah, you're right. And especially now, and to one of the
Computer
points you made
news.
for Aaron Rodgers to be in a season like this where he knows this is like the last dance. They're already calling it the last dance, right? And for him to have, this lack of support, and I mean, he's got playmakers. He's got a few on offense at least that he can work with, a few. But like you said, if they underperform, it all becomes all on him, and he has to play, balls to the wall for the team to have a chance. And what that does to it's draining, and exactly, and what that does to him, in terms of mental preparation and willpower and the want to continue to play hard to win, that kind of starts to dwindle a little bit. I would hate to see that with Aaron Rodgers. I hated seeing it with Kobe. We didn't see it much with Kobe. Kobe still fucking played his fucking ass. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, we'll see if it was just a 1-game dud. Like he said, there was 16 more to go. We'll see how it goes from here. Props to Jameis Winston. I want to throw him in there, playing lights out.
Man.
That was
Doing
another
his
big
thing,
story in the offseason, what the Saints are going to do. Yeah. And he fucking did his wing, you know what I'm saying? So, lick the chicken wang fingers, all that shit. You
Some
deserve
crab
that
legs,
one.
crab legs.
Some crab legs, yeah.
That was Jamal's bold prediction, right?
Yeah. I think Jameis he had the strangest stat line. I think with 5 TDs on fewer than 200 yards.
Yeah, it was like 168 or something.
Yeah, but
it's like the lowest yards with 5 TDs.
Plays, man.
They said since the 90s or something.
Yeah. But that's my boy. I'm a big Jameis fan. Props to him.
And throw into a bunch of just Joes and Schmoes. No Michael Thomas, don't matter.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of guys that kind of feel like they need to carry the team on their back, I'm going to talk about the Ravens now, real quick. A participation trophy for them last night or Monday night. Wild ass game in Vegas. It goes into overtime. What was initially called a touchdown pass from Carr to who was it? No one knows. No, Zay Jones. Yeah, he caught the game winner.
The actual game winner.
But it wasn't Wally. No, yeah. But Edwards, he was stopped at the
85.
1 yard line. But like the whole fucking marching band was out on the field. Everybody.
Lamar was dapping everybody
jersey
up.
Exchanges, everything. You're right. I think Carr and Lamar probably exchanged a jersey. They ended up winning each other's jersey at the end of the game. I'm just kidding. But it gets called back. The Ravens get a shot. They actually get the ball back, and couldn't capitalize. Carr ends up throwing the touchdown to Jones to win it. So
the whole game was just absolutely nuts. This is a game where it's in Vegas' new stadium. They're hype about all that.
The atmosphere looked crazy. I was like, I gotta go to a game there. That shit looked incredible.
I was waiting for some waitresses to come out with like bottles and sparklers and shit on the field.
Fucking Bruce Buffer with the Liberace jacket on, and like the DJ was. I was like, yo, this shit look.
Was that Stevie Aoki? The DJ?
It may have been. Yeah. Oh well, there it is then. Yeah.
It looked like him. Yeah.
But so the actual game, the entire fourth quarter was crazy because Ravens, they're up 17-10 started the fourth quarter. He's like, oh, okay, like they could potentially like lock this up. Lamar has his first fumble. Vegas comes back, gets a touchdown. Then Lamar comes back, gets his own touchdown. We're like, oh, okay, touchdown. 6 minutes left. What does Derek Carr have? Derek Carr comes down, matches him. Then there's a crap ton of time for Ravens. The Ravens do their thing, get a Justin Tucker field goal. And then they play this terrible defense, like to close out the game. There's 37 seconds left when the Raiders have the ball at their own 25. And they just give up 2 deep balls over the middle for 20 and 18 yards. The Raiders just blast a 55-yard field goal to even force OT. And then, the craziness with the interception after getting it at the 1 foot line. They tried a QB sneak and didn't go anywhere with it. And then, of course, they had a fucking false start on a cadence hard count. Why are you hard counting at the 6-inch line, bro? That's just stupidity. Derek Carr is trying to tell the crowd, you guys need to fucking be quiet when we're on offense. It hurts us when you're being so stupidly drunk and loud. At the very end, so after Lamar fumbles the second time, any score wins. And so Raiders run just, running play, take some time with the clock, and then Gruden sending the freaking field goal team out on the field. 2nd and 9 from like the 27 or something, right? So they're kicking a 45-yard field goal they're trying to for the win. They've already blown both their timeouts because they thought, oh, they're at the 1 foot yard. The game's about to be over. and then they get a delay of game penalty. Just so many comedy of errors. The whole thing was nuts. If you guys watched the Eli and Peyton broadcast on ESPN2,
I heard that
was
was
great.
good.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, starting
I
week
love
2, ESPN2, Eli and Peyton, they have guests. Yesterday they had Charles Barkley, Travis Kelce, Ray Lewis, Russell
So
Wilson.
is this an all season thing? Like
I think
they're gonna
so.
do this? Oh,
And
wow,
shit, they're gonna replace
I
the
heard it was
whole
great.
regular broadcast eventually because it was
I
money.
heard Peyton or Eli's. I think they were in the same house. Their fire alarm went off.
No, Eli, so they were in separate places. They were just doing it over Zoom. And Eli, right before halftime, yes, his fire alarm goes off. I don't know why they didn't mute his mic, but for like the last 60 seconds of the first half, that was going on. I was like, they're lucky that they're going to halftime now.
That's fantastic. Oh.
Right. If they didn't force OT. Right. Yeah. I was going against Mark Andrews in a couple fantasy leagues, and he had that one almost catch, but the Raiders guy just knocked it at him at the last second. That saved me. But this is a wild ass game to cap a wild week 1. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully this is
finger fucking your eye.
More to come.
All right, good.
Is that the show title?
Yeah. All right.
Irregardless of that.
We're wrapping this up. Jamal got the spotlight for this one. Saquon Barkley. Welcome back. 26 yards on 10 carries. Got outrushed by Daniel Jones.
Got outrushed by Marcus Mariota on one carry.
That's the funniest shit. When I was watching Jamal update the agenda live on the Google Doc.
Yeah,
I was cracking up. When you said outrushed by Daniel Jones, I was dying. Man.
Part of me says first of all, Saquon's status was up in the air until I think just a few days before week 1. They definitely brought him along very, very slowly. He didn't see pads for a while, I think, until like, I think the week before Sunday. So, for a while I was thinking they might not start him probably first 2 weeks of the season, but they figured he was comfortable enough to play. And they said he would be, basically they didn't come out and say he was on a snap count, but it was clear that they wanted to kind of bring him along pretty slowly. But I don't know, man. I kind of feel like, he's not favoring his knee. He's not, being tentative hitting the holes, but it just doesn't seem like the right time for him to be out there. And they did put a lot of resources into, second and third string people to spell him. They drafted a guy. They brought some free agents in. Those guys didn't do anything either on Sunday.
They only had one other guy outside of Daniel Jones, Devontae Booker.
Booker, he four carries for 7 yards.
Yeah.
Let me just not discount Denver's defense. That's not the greatest first week matchup.
Yeah,
but man, but yeah, it was tough to watch because I want him to do well. I think in his post-game presser, he said that, he's feeling fine. He probably wants more carries. I don't know what the plan is.
I do too, as his fantasy owner.
Yeah, look, I had him too, man. I suffered also. I didn't expect a huge game, but I thought maybe he could break one here and there. But
get a score.
He's just not quite there yet. And watching, watching Daniel Jones, boy, that's gonna be a fucking part-time job all season. That guy, man.
Except they don't cover the therapy that's needed along with it.
Yeah, man. There are times it seems like he's got it okay. He puts together some drives. He had that good drive, that Sterling Shepard touchdown drive was really, really just like really complete, right?
Yeah.
But his biggest weakness is turnovers, and he broke one and fumbled. They just plucked the ball right out of his hands, and it's like, damn, man, like this is year 3, and
yeah. Well, yeah, and this is the year that's gonna show a lot about Daniel Jones, if if his issues are self-inflicted wounds, or it's because of just a lack of talent. The talent's around him, right? I mean, I didn't see the game, but you can look. You look at this. You look at these stat lines here for the receivers. I mean, between Shepard, Slayton, and Galladay, you got over 200 yards receiving between those three, and 15 catches, right? So he's got targets.
Yeah.
But like I said, with Daniel Jones, it's just a matter of, again.
Well, I was talking last week too. I mean, I want to see some more design plays for him to use his legs. But what good is it if he's the book is out on him that he fumbles easily? You know what I mean? It's no net win, net gain.
Yeah, that's just something you gotta.
So short week, division game Thursday against another good defense, right, Zane? Good Washington defense.
This is where they rack them up.
Yeah.
Man, Zane just made so depressing, but I feel him. But hopefully, they can use this as a chip on their shoulder and wake the fuck up.
We might have to do an emergency IG live after the game one Thursday night.
Yeah, I know, right? Where is the game, here or in New York?
It's in DC. Man, they need to make tickets cheaper. Can't be having
PTP outing, PTP field trip.
Shit, bro, I haven't been to an NFL game in so long. Like, I have no idea what ticket prices are like.
Yeah,
it's not like they're whatever. After all the fees and everything, for 4 of us to go, it might be 180. But
you said 180
total, yeah, for nosebleeds in the 400 sections.
No, I ain't doing that shit.
Yeah.
No. But at the same time, it's just the only good seats in the lower bowl are, whatever, maybe 35 to 35 yard line. And those are just ridiculously high. Like you're going to have to pay 100, 150 for each. Nah, fuck out of here. You think it's that cheap?
I'm too good. I'm too good to sit in the upper bowl anywhere.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm past that point in my life.
This is definitely where I wish I kind of covered the Washington football team just so I could just get the credential access, because I'm spoiled at Wizards games. Front row seats at all times. I'm gotta worry about that bullshit. But
the thing is, my kids are so used to sitting in the lower bowl, like at Wizards games. If I take them to a football game and make them, they'll curse me. They're too sedity for that shit.
Sedity. That's a word that I looked up on Urban Dictionary one time. Sedity. All right, let's keep it going here. We had some NFL predictions. It's kind of a new bit that we're doing, where we choose 3 marquee games and a pick 'em. Last week, Jamal, you're at the bottom. Yeah, you're at the bottom of the division right now, 1-3. The rest of us. Are 2-2.
It doesn't pay to make bold predictions. Stick with safe shit.
Yeah. What? Yeah,
you gotta pick the right bold prediction.
Oh man,
your bold prediction was that Dallas was going to beat Tampa Bay, right?
You needed to pick your boy Jameis instead of Dak.
Yeah, I have the schedule up this so I can see who's home and who's away. So let's go. Let's do it.
All right, so let's do it.
There you go.
Week 2 predictions. We're gonna start off with the 49ers at the Eagles. Neil, go.
Man, why you gotta make me go first? But it's gonna be 49ers. I think they got something going there. They're healthy. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Raheem Mostert, season-ending injury.
Dude, I almost picked him. I had him last year. He got fucked up. I said maybe he'll be gone already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they look good, pretty potent in week 1. It's at Philadelphia though.
It is at Philadelphia. That's right. Okay, so Neil's going with Philly.
No,
Jamal.
49ers. Hey, this man's trying to tank my record already.
I'm like Jeff flipping the coin. You call tail. Oh, it's heads. All right, Neil. Neil goes San Francisco. Jamal, who you got, man?
I'm going Niners. Let's be safe here. Yep.
Okay. Zane? Wow. Okay. So the 49ers are the same figure. I'm going Philly. I'm going Philly. I'm going Philly. I think that it's the home opener. I think they're riding high off for Hurts. And I think with Mostert being hurt, the run game kind of just loses another step. I'm going Philly. This might be my bold prediction, so we're gonna roll with it.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
can take your L.
Okay. Kansas City at Baltimore.
Kansas
Hey,
City.
yeah, Kansas City.
KC, I'm not betting, but not going against KC.
I will never predict against Patrick Mahomes. So, Kansas City across the board. Dallas playing at the Chargers. What you got, Neil?
I'm going to go Chargers. I think Justin Herbert, really just lit it up. Of course, against Zane's average defense, but it's not like Dallas is much better. I think he'll have a big game in, his first home game of the season.
Jay?
Picked the Cowboys last week. Not making that mistake again. Picking the Chargers.
All right. Z Diddy. Okay. Okay. I'm going Chargers as well. I think they're a better rounded team, not a star-studded, but yeah.
Numbering, irregardless.
More smarter.
Better rounded.
More smarter.
Is that not right? Am I just
more smarter?
More smarter. Better rounded. Well rounded.
Better
more
rounded.
well rounded. Better rounded. Whatever. Yeah. Shit. All right, man. The joke's on me this week, man. Fuck. Yeah, so well-rounded. I thought you were like trying to argue with me that they weren't a better rounded team. I think they're more well-rounded. Is that what I should have said? More well-rounded.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding. Round of applause.
Okay. Better coached. They're better defensively. I'm going Chargers. And your pick 'em for the week: Cincinnati at Chicago.
Let's go Cincinnati. I made the wrong choice of trying to pick up the Vikings defense and thinking that they would be decent. Joe Burrow pretty much lit them up. I'm essentially taking the better quarterback in this game. Joe Burrow, I think it's going to be doing some good things. And why am I going to put faith in Andy Dalton?
Burrow looks good.
Healthy.
Burrow looks good. He's healthy and he's got guys.
Jamar Chase, him and Burrow linking up like it's LSU.
Jamar Chase, after he said he couldn't catch a football in NFL football, came out and lit it up. Yeah.
Catching footballs, yeah.
Good misdirection there.
Fooled us in preseason.
I'm going to go contrary. I'm going to go Chicago.
Ooh.
Soldier Field advantage.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know if it matters what people think. Burrow looked great. I think that the offense looks great with just the way they have things set up with Mixon out the backfield. You got weapons, so many receivers, man. They're all fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And just the Bears are just kind of like mentally unstable right now. Okay. Okay. All right, we're split down the middle on this one. No, I just feel like the Bears just are a little bit mentally not stable with the quarterback situation. Dalton, Justin Fields. I feel like they still don't know what they want to do, if they want to do a dual quarterback approach, what have you. But I like Cincinnati. I think they ride off their week 1 win and win in Chicago. All right, that's it for the NFL, man. It's enough of the NFL, man. I'm sick of Zane's shit, man. He's gonna bring up the Washington. He's gonna bring up the Washington defense in the next segment. He's gonna bring it up in theater. He's gonna bring it up in detention. Hell,
I feel like I need to balance this out with a quick, ex-Wizard plug. Hey, there it is. John Wall and Houston Rockets, potentially looking for some trade partners. Good luck with that, but he's not going to play another game with the Houston Rockets. He'll be around for training camp, but Who wants that 92? Was it 90? Yeah, 92 million left on his deal.
Philly.
James Dolan, or Philly. Good plug. Thought we had it. Thought we escaped it, but we didn't. Neil still got us. Boxing takes a big step backwards after this past weekend. Evander Holyfield, this shit was fucking. It was so shitty. It was so shitty. Just Holyfield, just the way he looked in the ring, and then he swings and misses and falls out the fucking ring halfway, and then 30 seconds later gets. The buildup was weird. Zane, I know you're gonna pop off on this, but I want to know, like, I get the sideshow approach that boxing has been kind of taking the past few months with some of these fights. It's all about matchups, right? Like, we're starting to understand it's a lot about matchups more so than like history of the boxers or the guys involved. A lot of shenanigans. 58 years old, Evander Holyfield, 10 years since his last fight. He looked awful. Go ahead. He did, yeah. I remember it. I can't. Yeah, but that was my next question. How the fuck did it get sanctioned?
Yeah,
Like,
I wonder that too. Like,
type shit.
what is Triller like?
Yeah,
circumventing anything to put these together? Because it just seems. I'm like, these shit's gonna go on if somebody gets like fucked up or killed.
But the
because
state,
it's so wild. And
but the state commission also, they're the governing body, right? Like it has to go through the Florida Boxing Commission as well, right? Which I've heard is historically pretty laxed. Yeah.
It's Florida. Trying to hook us up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't sign off on that shit,
Yeah.
Evander couldn't speak, 20 years ago. So, yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. He said he would knock Joe Biden out in a few seconds. He was just talking like cash shit. Yeah.
Oh, the easiest person to beat would be what a fucking clown.
I like how one of my favorite tweets about the Holyfield fight, somebody tweeted like he died and shit. It was like Evander Holyfield TKO. This didn't have to happen. Like All right, that didn't be that dramatic.
Some Apollo Creed type shit.
Oh man. Don't the damn time. It's supposed to be the exhibition. Yeah. I told you all these fights, all these fucking fights are like dreams. Like, man, I had a dream that Holyfield was fighting and Trump was like commentating and like Holyfield looked like he was melting and then he got knocked out of the ring. Like, yeah. Oh shit. Oh god. That's fucking great, man. That's so fucking good.
That's what, like October 1st or October 8th or something? Whew.
I can't wait. I saw that. Yep, saw that. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You gotta wave your hand. Get the fuck out of here. So underrated, man.
We've dissolved.
Well, yeah. All right, man. Thanks for the plug, man. Thanks for the updates. Boxing has been clutch for me because it kind of helps the perfect seg into theater. You know, basically going from one side show to the next seamlessly. And that's what the fuck we gonna do. All right, yo, listen. Let's talk some horror flicks, man. Listen, I saw this goddamn trailer for Candyman, right? Yep. And it's like, why subject yourself to this anymore?
Because
I can't
it's what
do
we
it.
do, man. We get,
I get it.
I
know you.
I love it, bro. I love all of it.
You are the resident deranged lover of horror flicks. Call him the Black Eli Roth, man. Oh, demented ass gore.
I'll take it. Listen, I'll take it.
I know you watched it, the new Jordan Peele edition of the flick. How'd you like it?
It was pretty good, man. So this movie came out, I think it's 3 weeks ago now, if I'm not mistaken. So Candyman, this remake was delayed well over a year because of COVID issues with the shooting, and then Jordan Peele said he wanted to, rather than have it go direct to streaming, he wanted people to experience it in a theater. And I get that. I mean, his movies pop much more differently in theaters than they do when you watch at home on your couch, especially horror movies, right? So it was well done. You know, with Jordan Peele, he is a masterful mind for horror, first of all, but he always finds a way to work in the angle of race and kind of racial backdrops in his films, which he did here. In addition to the main character Candyman, there's some other angles of, you know, black men experiencing some very horrific shit, and kind of being woven into this kind of Candyman umbrella character, if you will. If you watch the trailer, I'm not spoiling anything, obviously, but if you watch the trailer close enough, you can kind of see where the movie goes eventually. But great performances overall. This is Candyman was the lead character was Yahya Abdul-Mateen, who played in Watchmen as Dr. Manhattan, and he also he's going to be played I guess Morpheus in the new Matrix that's coming out. I think it's coming out around Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. The trailer's already out for it, so he's a good rising star actor. Tiana Parrish, who played in she was in the Marvel series WandaVision. She played in that series. I think she was in some other stuff as well. And also this guy Nathan Stewart Jarrett played Troy, who was Tiana Parrish's brother in the movie. He played a really good character too. So good cast, good young cast, really good up and comers. Again, the storytelling was really well done. Lots of gore in it. I mean, if you want gore in your horror films, this was part psychological thriller, but a very good amount of gore too. Special effects were really incredible. They did this kind of narration style thing where they use these kind of shadow, like puppets almost behind just a black shadow puppets behind this kind of white background to kind of do the moving along of the story. Never seen anything like it before. It was kind of old school. But the way they did the narration using those puppets was really well done. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I mean, again, it's a remake. I knew the story. We know where it was going to go, but there was some new things introduced also.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. So, like, you've seen the previous Candyman movies, right? The original 92 flick and then the sequels. Would you consider, did they stick to the traditional storyline in this movie? Did they kind of divert a little bit? Was it a remake? Was it a sequel? Was it like
so the core story was the same. We still have the same protagonist / antagonist at the center of the film. It's also set in Chicago. You know, the original story was set in Cabrini Green. Cabrini Green is no longer in existence. That was torn down, you know, a long time ago. But it's kind of built around this newly kind of gentrified area of Chicago, set on the Cabrini Green kind of backdrop. So they kept that part of it the same, but the core kind of plot does take a new turn. And he did bring back a couple characters from the original. Vanessa Williams is back. Not the Vanessa Williams that people, you know, tend to know, but the one who played in the movie, in the original one. Tony Todd made a guest appearance also. He's the original Candyman. Yeah, he popped up too. So we have some good callbacks. Jordan did a great job in doing some callbacks for the movie and kind of bringing that stuff into the newer version, but you will still see something new even if you did see the original one. But yeah, it was good. It was good.
Sweet. Is the movie streaming?
No, it's still in theaters only.
It's just only in theaters.
Not on any platforms. Yeah.
That's good to know. Okay. Yeah. All right, Candyman. Fuck. I can remember when that shit came out in '92. I was like 11. That shit was like fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And that's the only Candyman I've seen. I didn't watch any of the sequels.
Sequels never really measured up to the original, which sequels typically don't. But if you saw the first one, that's really the only one you need to see out of the entire like series.
Yeah. A lot of shit terrified me when I was 11. What would you guys say? What are some of the things that terrified you the most as a child? Well, like, was it a movie character or like some of the other more common fears that kids have? For me, any scary image on TV that I would see, Michael Jackson's Thriller was one of the first like real scary sequences, right? That I could actually watched and really kind of absorbed and fucking freaked the shit out of myself, right? And I had exactly right, and I was a kid that I would have nightmares off of any disturbing image that I would see or a disturbing story I would hear. 4 or 5 years old, and I would start to create some scary images on my own, like just like self-flagellating myself with like scary images, and then think about them and then dream about them. Weird as shit. But yeah. But even you know, I mentioned 92, age 11. When I watched Juice, Tupac movie Juice, fucking Bishop scared the shit out of me. I watched this. My mom went out to shop for groceries, and Juice was on Cinemax. And like the scene where he's pointing the gun at Raheem, I had to turn it off. I was like, oh shit, this is fucking serious shit.
Wow, dude.
And the living room,
wow.
like when you're 11 years old and you're like, and you don't get left home alone a lot, and you know those kind of scenarios, those kind of exchanges, you don't really know about much, right? It's like inner city, you know, somebody pointing a gun at somebody's face. It's like, what the fuck? I'm a fifth grader in Centerville. What the fuck am I watching?
See, I got exposed to horror movies at a really young age. That's probably why I'm quote unquote fucked up in the head now, and I love horror so much. Because I was watching Freddy movies when I was like 9 years old, 8 years old. And my sister showed me. I remember the first movie that scared the fuck out of me, but I enjoyed it was Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it was part 4 of The Dream Master. Like crazy as shit, but I was like, I'm kind of into it. You know what I mean? I was afraid about shit like when I was younger, like my own basement. Like we had a really big house when I was growing up. And my mom would like go get, something out of the deep freezer, like go get a fucking pot pie. And I'd be like, motherfucker, you trying to kill me. Like I will not make it out of this bitch. Like turn on every fucking light everywhere. And like, I would always feel like something was behind me. You know what I mean? You get that feeling when you were younger.
You always spent a few minutes just building yourself up to even go down there. Like, it's like, all right.
Fucking run full speed down the hall. But it didn't last long because once I got over, like when I got into horror, like very few things kind of spooked me when I was younger. I ended up moving into the basement a couple of years later, like by the spooky ass laundry room and all those empty rooms we had in the basement. Like that was my element. So, but yeah, for a while. And then when I saw The Exorcist, and I will say to this day, The Exorcist is still the movie that will scare me to this day. Shakes me the fuck up. Yeah. Barely. Let's talk offline about that. Okay. Yeah.
Take it off.
We'll hold a separate breakout room for
the thing about The Exorcist is it was it was something I think pretty novel for horror films, like getting possessed by the devil. That's completely out of your control, and the fact that it was shot in Georgetown, I was like, oh my god, like I don't want this shit to happen to me. So that movie still gets me. That's probably the only thing that really fucked me up as a kid was The Exorcist. Everything else, I kind of separated from reality.
Y'all are crazy. I cannot do horror movies, and that's why I just don't put myself through it. I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy this. Therefore,
what if a nice young lady said, "Neil, let's cuddle up"?
All right, let's see. That could be persuasive enough.
Okay, all right.
I think the only I don't even really consider it horror movies like that I've seen is like Bird Box. And like I was like, okay, that's not too bad.
Come on, guy.
Exactly. I don't watch horror movies. And if I do, it's gonna be fair enough. Touche.
I gotta give a shout out to my man Damon, Get Out the Room podcast. He came down, we checked the movie out. We did a nice little assessment of it. He's deeper into horror than I am, and we kind of agree. We didn't have a lot of jump scares from Candyman because we are deep into the horror game. So our baseline for getting frightened is like it's really fucking high.
Y'all can't watch shit with me. Then I'm a jumper. I went to a horror flick with a girl one time. I was jumping more than her. I felt embarrassed. I was like,
real quick callback since we talked about fall at the top of the show. I guess you guys don't do haunted houses at all.
I do see so haunted houses I can do. I think that when you
so that's interesting.
Like real, it is. And I was going to talk about my child a little bit more. As a child, I used to actually seek scary shit too, like scary stories to tell at night, like vampire books, scary video games, like we talk about Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
like the most nostalgic shit to me is the music from Nightmare on Elm Street. So I actually embraced horror and fear and that kind of shit all the time. But no, the music from Nightmare, like the music from the video game, from the actual video game.
Video game.
For the video game. Yeah. Remember that? Yeah. But as I grew older, I just kind of felt like the more stressed I started becoming with like normal day-to-day shit in my adult life, why add more distress to that?
I got it.
Why do I need to watch somebody going through this fucking terrifying distress?
Ordeal.
Yeah.
And like I said, like I watched the Saw movies up until probably the fifth one, like closely. Like even though the movie became like just an excuse for pointless blood and gore, like there was no real twist to the way the storyline was.
They're corny as shit.
No, but like Saw 1 and Saw 2 had a real mind fuck twist.
It was a novel. It was really new. Good. It was a new. Right. They started out well until they made like part 15 and shit.
Exactly. When part 15 was just like, all right, let's just come up with the craziest death traps and see these motherfuckers get out of it.
My oldest son wants to start watching horror movies, and I'm trying to figure out where to start him because he's like me. He's really like pragmatic. Like if shit don't make sense, he's like this shit's stupid. You know what I mean? Like he dismisses shit all the time. And my youngest son is he's much more of a dreamer. He's much more in a fantasy. So he will get wrapped up in that shit and won't be able to sleep for weeks. So he's not even thinking about horror, but I'm trying to get my oldest son into it because I was about his age when I started, getting into horror flicks. And I think he'll be totally fine with it. So, we'll see.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yep.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. But I think it kind of
I need
you
to
have to
add that to
factor
my
in the
list.
jump factor, right? Like the jet. Like oh wow.
Man.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Again, new shit. A doll that came to life.
Right.
Legit
And-
fuck people up. Yeah.
And he fucking yeah.
Can't go to sleep. Yeah. Yep.
What?
You you perp yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, never.
Yeah.
What about the vibes coming out of a horror flick, in the movie theaters? Like I remember coming out of a really scary movie. I can't name a particular one, but sitting in your car in the parking lot of a movie theater after you watch the horror flick and just like the view in your rear view of the back seat, it's dark, right? I would be scared as shit driving home. I would be scared as
I got one
shit
more
driving
that
home.
shook me up a little bit. The first Paranormal Activity movie came
Yeah.
out in about 2000. I think it was 2009.
That,
I remember because I had just moved to this my new house in Woodbridge,
yeah.
and I think I saw the movie within the first couple weeks or so. Didn't know the house that well, definitely didn't know the house that well at night. And I had to take, I paused for a little bit before I went downstairs to get something to drink or like go in the backyard or something because that shit spooked me a little bit. It shook me up a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. What if I got a catheter at the bedside? That's crazy. Yeah, yeah.
At my age, I'm already just like, I do not need that extra stress. Man. I hear a noise in the night. I'm like, who the fuck there?
Y'all need to watch shit then. Don't watch anything. Like, y'all are still out here bad, man. Don't do it.
I don't know. Yeah. No interest. No interest. All right, man. Let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. We're gonna get into detention. Pop Smoke's grave got vandalized in Brooklyn this past week. Not a lot of details about it, but it was clearly singled out. He's buried in a marble stone crypt out there in Brooklyn, and so part of basically stacked crypts that are in that one particular area, and his was the only one that was damaged, and apparently reportedly they try to drag his casket out too.
Just insane
So,
shit.
It's just just fucking with the dead in general just really bothers me.
Yeah, the new kids, man, like these new like gang shit, and like I think I've talked about it before, this whole scene in Florida where it is like fashionable to like talk about motherfuckers you had killed in your raps, caskets getting popped regularly. So the fact that Pop Smoke shit got vandalized, sadly it's not too surprising because even after his death, people continued his legacy for the most part is favorable, but there's still people that just don't fuck with his shit, don't like him. Right. He got killed by some really young dudes that were, that were bangers, and like I think they probably had something, or at least the gang affiliation had something to do with the fact that the grave got vandalized. But
his death, it's interesting because I kind of read up on it a little bit as I was doing some of the research on this vandalization. The home invasion seemed to be not something. I don't want to say it was isolated. They knew it was his crib, but apparently it's because he had shared his address on social media.
His boy did. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You say? Did you say it was bullshit? Oh no, I thought. Okay, never mind. Right. No. Yeah. So even with that, like, to see, obviously at 20 years old, when you're making that much money and you got that much fame, I don't know. Again, I don't want to call out what the motive was for the vandalization, but I think that's kind of
it was
making Jamal's like,
I think it's gang spillover. But the dude that killed him, somebody recorded his IG live. The actually shooter was on live in jail, like mopping the floor and shit. Talking shit about Pop Smoke, and the comments is all like, the other dudes is down with him, talking shit about him, motherfuckers throwing up gang signs, like shit. Yeah, I can't. It doesn't register to me. But it's young boy shit now, like young gang shit is really on another planet. So the fact that they are continue to fuck with his legacy, again, is not that surprising, sadly. It's exactly what it is.
Again,
exactly.
it's the enablement of social media, right? Like everything is about, even when you're making a song about it, right? Where are you gonna put that song? You put it on social media. People are gonna start watching your shit. You're gonna get views. You're gonna
it's
get
clout chasing. It's one up.
Clout chasing.
It's character.
It's a right to them, right? Exactly. Yeah. To them, it's just yeah. Just another player in the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, some fucked up shit going there. Our next one up, Nicki Minaj. Puts up a tweet about
my cousin's friend.
A cousin in Trinidad who won't get a vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent all of a sudden overnight. Testicles got all swole. Wedding got called off. I mean, this was a fucking story. It's a fucking story. And a lot.
This is why
jokes,
vaccination rates are so low in the Black community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because somebody with millions and millions of followers uses her platform to share this anecdotal bullshit.
Right.
This
Basically,
misinformation.
Your cousin's friend got something else. He didn't have. It wasn't a COVID reaction.
Yeah, we out here confusing STIs with COVID and shit.
Fuck out of here, man.
So and Nicki, of course, her anti-vax tweet makes it to Tucker Carlson.
Because we'd love to have your cousin's friend on.
And I saw somebody say like the world really ended in 2019. We just been living in like a simulation ever since. And I see more and more proof of that every day. Like, why wouldn't Tucker be reading Nicki's tweet on a show? Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's terrible. But in other vaccine news, and this off topic, that Biden, this man's executive order, pretty much every federal contractor has got to be fully vaccinated by like the end of the year. It's pretty crazy.
Good. I'm glad he went on offense. Good.
Finally.
Let the other motherfuckers set up their own civilization. Let their own.
Pretty much. Let them go to Texas.
Their own leper colony. Like, yeah, I'm good with that.
And lastly, Robert Griffin III, man.
Bobby Three Sticks.
We told.
What did Bobby do, man? What happened?
Just tweet
bring
out
back,
about
bring him back.
about well, that was one. That's the least of the tweets, but kept on bringing up Jameis Winston in the crab incident at FSU.
He's still talking about that?
Yeah, he's still talking about that. His last tweet, and then he finds he photoshops or has somebody Photoshop Jameis instead of holding a trophy, he's holding a batch of crab legs. So
somebody did that when Jameis won the national championship, but I didn't think people were still dragging that joke out of the crawl space.
So his tweet is after beating Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, Jameis Winston is now requesting strategy meetings with the Saints brass and demanding 5 crab legs, one for every touchdown he threw, be placed in his locker every day for consumption since he ate a donut.
That's some corny shit.
Right.
I know. There was he's in
Really?
here for he's in here in several different accounts. On several different accounts saying we were getting tattooed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's about
yeah.
to be a mainstay. He's about to be a mainstay.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
RG do you think he knows how he's not like really liked?
No,
Like,
he knows. Oh, he knows.
yeah.
He knows.
I mean, didn't he
Yeah.
tweeted something with his wife working out, who says white women can't have big asses?
Yeah, he does all this shit.
Like,
Yeah.
you're not building a
he's-
great foundation for yourself, bro.
Let's put it this way. Yeah, Rob Parker really put him in an insecure state of mind about his blackness.
Yeah.
Where he just has to feel like he has to show and prove his blackness despite having the white wife, despite having
Which actually reminds me of
the second white wife.
shout out to the ESPN family's been showing more HBCU football games this season.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Deion's presence has a lot to do with it, but they've been showing a lot.
Yeah.
Like almost every week, they get a nationally televised game. And RG did the first game. I forgot who played, and he sent out a tweet about props to HBCUs, like they paved the way, and he was this and that. It was a decent tweet, but he got flamed in the comments like, "Motherfucker, you didn't even go to HBCU with the bail and blah blah." I was like, "Damn, get the motherfucker a break, man." So people just don't like the dude, and they're gonna come at everything he does, but you're not helping yourself with that bullshit.
He did it all the time.
Very religious man.
And that was the thing. Right. Very contrived. And it really hit a sour spot for Washington fans in year 2 of his career, because that's when he started to throw teammates under the bus, and then follow it up
Well,
with
he had the dislocated
biblical
broken
quote
ankle
on his Twitter. Yeah, he's like using Jesus quotes for subtweets. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
we don't want to hear this shit. So, my bad, man. Hey, we. Oh, man. We almost at the finish line, man. We almost at the finish line.
Hey, why are you subtweeting me? You don't have to read my tweet about that from 2012. Hey, that was the most magical season I've ever lived through. So I've got some depressing Washington football years under my belt.
That was, yeah.
Alfred Morris, baby.
Alfred Morris.
Played
with the Giants not too long ago.
Shanahan gave him a job last year, and now he's probably out.
He was
of
a Giant last, right? Yeah.
Yeah, both.
Oh yeah.
With the modern day Herschel Walker, just all the NFC East teams. All right, man. Let's wrap that up, man. In conclusion, don't mess with the. Don't mess.
This man's writing AP Lang essay.
In
Thus.
conclusion, yeah. Thus. Henceforth. No, seriously though, don't mess with the dead, you dumbasses. Unfollow your favorite comedians right now. They will kill you. Chase Young was still the right pick, no matter what a Washington Post columnist tells you. This is out of my jurisdiction a bit, but RG3, cornball brother.
Cornball brother.
Yeah,
Man, we just throwing the word around. Jamal
lastly,
approves.
Evander Holyfield, man, don't ever do that shit again. You're 60. Your net worth is right around $1 million or so. That's enough for a lifetime supply of Viagra and strippers, at least the rest of your lifetime. Go out in the sunset, man. Go out in the sunset, Unc. And that's that for Jamal, Zane, Neil, and your boy. Enjoy the rest of your week, man. Peace.